Well, joining us now to look at the developments in Bangladesh, former High Commissioner to Dhaka, Riva Ganguly Das. Thank you, ma'am, very much for being with us. Firstly, how do you react to, the denial of bail to the ISKCON priest? This has been a, long-running legal battle for him. He was represented today, but bail was not granted. Do you believe that that's strange?
Well, I have followed this particular case, and I did see, the government side lawyers say that normally in sedition cases, bail is not given very easily. So, in a sense, it's probably as per the law. I'm not that familiar with the legal process. But today he was represented by 12 lawyers. I think some of them flew in from Dhaka as well. And there were arguments were held for 30 minutes. I saw on I checked out on Bangladeshi press that his lawyers on his side were given the opportunity to put the case before the judge on why he should be given bail. But according to the government side lawyers, that normally in such cases, bail is not granted. But of course, we don't have any of the details right now.
This is being seen in some quarters here in India as being part of a trend where minorities are targeted in Bangladesh. Bangladesh itself flatly refuses this. Where do you see the claims made by many in our country and what Bangladesh says as far as minority rights post the change?
Well, whenever there's political turmoil in Bangladesh, minorities being a vulnerable group, they live in isolated villages, often without much communication. They are a small group. They often come under attack. And, we've seen in the past also minority attacks during vandalization of temples, Durga Puja. And of course, after the 2001 elections, there was absolutely month after month, there were attacks on minorities. So they are a vulnerable group, but that does not mean that they should be attacked. It is the duty of any government to protect all its citizens. And at least on the face of it, Bangladesh government keeps saying that they will protect. We've also seen visuals of, other communities protecting the places of worship of minorities, which includes, not only Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, and those Ahmadiyas, the Sufi saints, which have also been vandalized. So Bangladesh is going through a lot of political turmoil right now. Law and order is there's very thin presence of the police on the ground. The army has been given magisterial powers. I haven't seen them exercising those powers very much. And as the army chiefs said in an interview yesterday, that they would like to go back to the barracks as soon as possible. And they are hoping that the police would come back to do their own duty.
Yep.
So in a situation like this, vulnerable groups do get caught. And according to the Hindu Buddha Christian Oikko Porishad, the HBCOP, more than 2,000 attacks on Hindus have taken place till now.
Is the extradition request for Sheikh Hasina a potential deal breaker or showstopper in terms of restoring normal relations between India and Bangladesh?
Well, at a year-end interview, I think yesterday or day before, the foreign policy advisor, Tawhid Hussain, has said that, it's not the only issue that India and Bangladesh are dealing with. He has said that, there are several bilateral issues that Bangladesh wants to deal with India. And Sheikh Hasina's extradition will run parallelly with other bilateral issues, and the Foreign Office has always said that they're looking at strengthening relations with India. It goes without saying that We are neighbors. We share a very long border. 5 of Indian states have international borders with Bangladesh. There are people-to-people ties between our two countries. There are family ties. There is $18 billion of business, a lot of investment in Bangladesh is the largest recipient of India's, lines of credit, the concessional lines of credit. So I think it's in the interest of both countries to move on and normalize the relationship as much as possible.
At the same time, ma'am, this is very much a new Bangladesh, and I think it's for us to understand that. But a lot of it perhaps rankles. For example, there are new textbooks in schools over there which say that Ziaur Rahman declared independence in 1971 and not Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Now, Ziaur Rahman in 1971, as I recall, was a major fighting in that war. And the words "father of the nation" have been removed while referring to Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Now, India has given Bangladesh her independence, and it's something we are immensely proud about. The identity of modern-day Bangladesh is associated with what happened in 1971. Is this something that we can easily accept as a nation? Not that we can do anything necessarily about it. I just wanted your opinion.
It is entirely up to them how they want to write their history. And we all know that Bangladeshi politics has, ever since 71, been extremely contentious. And this is not the first time that they fought over history books. After Sheikh Mujib's assassination, multiple coups took place. And then finally, when General Zia established himself as the leader, at that period also the history said something else. So I have met many people in Bangladesh when I went there as High Commissioner, who said that, I mean, till the age of 2025, we didn't even know what was really India's role in the 71 war. And Bangladesh has gone through this in the past, but in order to move forward, to become a modern nation, they have to deal with these historical issues and reconcile, have a national reconciliation on these national issues. Because, for a country to go through this process of changing history every few years, because this is what really leads to the contentious politics that they have. And this debate is not new, that whether Ziaur Rahman declared independence or Mujib's recorded message on Bangladesh Betar. So I think this kind of reconciliation of actually what happened in history has to take place in that country, and it has to take place within their own system by themselves.
Bangladesh has also said that they would be looking to balance relationships. Yes, India has an important role, but they have to manage their relationship with Myanmar. But they would also be looking to work with China very closely. Again, it's entirely their choice. But given the fact that there is, some would suggest, a power vacuum in Bangladesh at this stage, would New Delhi be looking at concern at the prospects of China having a greater say in Bangladesh, whether it's through economic policy, investments, or even providing arms to Bangladesh, something which they've already started doing?
China has been providing a lot of arms to Bangladesh. In fact, the Bangladeshi Army, Navy, Air Force, everybody, they're very heavily dependent on Chinese arms. Large quantities of arms they buy from China. Even during Sheikh Hasina's time, she had excellent relationship with the Chinese leadership. During Xi Jinping's visit, $24 billion worth of projects were announced. It's a different matter that only $10 billion was actually signed. And finally, I think a little above $2 billion of worth of projects has actually been disbursed. But there is no doubt that China is doing iconic big projects. So that, I think, is a trend which started earlier. Bangladesh has signed on to BRI. Now, with the uncertainty which is going on and the political turmoil which is going on within Bangladesh, this is a situation in which everybody will try to take an advantage. And But I personally feel that the Chinese would first be interested in, protecting their existing investments, all that, the promises that they have made. And they will, of course, they are not an immediate neighbor. They do not have the issues that we have with Bangladesh. And likewise, they do not also have the intense people to people historical links that we have. So, I think we stand at a very different level. Our relationship, of course, when Sheikh Hasina was in power, was at a different level. But even, now, given the long border, the medical tourism which takes place in India, the historical links, the family links, even now there are families which are divided by the international border. I think the two are very different. And China's priority now will be to protect its investments more than anything else.
All right, Ambassador, thank you very much for speaking to us, sharing your thoughts on the present situation in Bangladesh and the future, really, of the relationship between our two countries. Thank you very much indeed.